Okay, so that's a funny question. Actually, it will happen when you are going to be, or if you are already a parent. So, what you do? How do you react to this? I haven't seen really a clear explanation or clear answer on YouTube. So that's why I'm making this video. And I think the answer is particularly easy. And I see actually this tantrum in kids as not only, if you want, you are going to hate me for saying that necessary thing, not only, but a good thing, basically. A tantrum in the child's development is the moment that you wish it happens. Wow. Okay, I'm crazy, right? So in my opinion, and I'm coupling this with a little bit with what I've read in the psychoanalysis, in my opinion, tantrum is the moment where the little, if you want, the little animal in the child gives up. Not gives up his will, just gives up a little bit of his ambition. So I see the kids having this inner will that doesn't really go with the rules, and that will just drop level the moment when he throws a tantrum, and he is being at that moment of the tantrum, he is being addressed the right way. So if your kid does a tantrum crisis, and if you react the correct and the right way, he will move on to be improved as a person as he grows up. It will help him a lot. If you do the things the wrong way at that moment, he's not going to pass that step, and he's going to have an issue that will stay with him. So what is that I think, in my opinion, you have to do with the tantrum crisis? A tantrum crisis, I see it as a test on you, the parent. The child is testing you, not in a mean way, is simply testing you to see if you are a parent, if you are a person that can protect him, that has a certain personality and a certain maturity. I'm talking about the parent here. The child, I think that tantrum crisis is testing your maturity and your personality. And that's where the problem comes, because many of us parents have not had a good childhood, perhaps, or had a parent that didn't do the right things at the right moment with them, and we don't really know. We did not become that mature parent, that mature adult properly. We are having issues. And what you need to do basically when the child is throwing a tantrum, mainly he wants to do something, or he doesn't want. Let's just say he wants something. He wants you to, I don't know, to buy something or to do something for him, and you don't agree with this. You think by yourself, no, you should not be doing this. What you need to do at that moment is, sometimes kids throwing a tantrum, they will just roll on the floor or something like this, or try to smash things or cry or yell or so. You just stay there and say no. Let me just continue, because you've seen this before, saying no, but let me just explain something about this no. This no is actually what the child maybe not needs, but what is good for the child to see, because in this no, he sees the maturity, he sees the adult, and he sees a person that gives him security as a child. So this no does never come from a person who is angry, who has a mean look, who is, harsh, who, I don't know what else. So this no is sort of let's just say I have a kid, my kid, they are big now. I have a kid in front of me making a tantrum, and I will say no, 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 no. Please look at my face when I say this no. There is no meaningness. There is no angriness. There is no harshness. There is no friendliness. There is no negotiation, but not the opposite either. So there's nothing friendly, but nothing negative or harsh either. Is this no? Why I'm saying is testing you, because if you are a person with a good, clear personality, if you know who you are, and I'm not talking theory here, if you are your own self, your own, call your name, or name being Tom, if you are really Tom, you are going to say it this way: no, no. You notice something? There is almost no emotion basically saying this no. It's just a no. No. It's not militarized, it's not friendly in a friendly way. That's just my English. So I think what the child needs to see at that moment is he's seeing an adult, which is his parent, having a authority that is stable and, how to put it, that is natural, not something fake, not something forced, is just an adult that it's not, how to say that, is not being weak, is not being destabilized by the crisis. He just have this self-assurance, but real self-assurance, and not strong self-assurance, just a natural self-assurance. Just the way I'm talking, making this video, I'm just feel okay. I'm feeling okay. I'm not feeling shy. I'm not feeling afraid. I'm not feeling hesitating or so. This just balance. The child needs to hear that no in a balanced way, but more importantly and essentially, I think, coming from a balanced adult. And at that moment, the child will understand that in front of him is someone who actually can protect him, is someone that the child can trust, and is someone that makes, well, I would say it this way, that brings him safety. You understand what I'm saying? That's the whole idea behind it. If when you say no or you do other reaction, if you try to appear mean or harsh or yelling or I say no, I say no, I say no, that means you are weak. Sorry, that means you are weak. You are weak. It's not going to work. Perhaps you're going to shut his mouth closed or make him silent, but you are going to miss the occasion of giving him confidence, security, and also when you say it the right way, he will see in you an example of adult that is composed, that is balanced, that is himself, that is a balanced person. He will see it at the moment. If you do so, he has chances to become the same, to become a balanced person when or as he is growing up. He will see the example. So all this to say, I'm sure there are going to be people out there who are going to think, but I just cannot do this. I cannot do this. No, this calm no, this very, it comes from yourself, that no. It's your attitude. The child sees that you have an attitude. It sees that you just own this attitude. I call it authority, but I don't like this authority name, because in the US, I think they use this name authority in an authoritarian way. But authority is just parenting, is just the person that takes care of me to make me safe and to just make me safe in my life. That's what the child would say. So now, of course, like I was saying, there are going to be people who are going to say, how do I say this no? it's nothing theoretically. And I'm saying this because there are so many books out there saying you should do this, and there's 200 pages and you read through it and you don't understand, and you say, what is this? It's like a PhD or something. This, to say the no in such way means you are a balanced person. And to be a balanced person, you must, if you aren't one, you must become a balanced person. Unfortunately, this video is not about how to become a balanced person. It's a journey. Each one has a different journey. But all I want to say is that you need to, I will say this, find yourself. Find yourself. Become yourself. Become your person. If you have insecurities, if you, I don't know how to say it, if you don't have your own person, you are not going to get well through these situations of tantrum. If you, maybe oftentimes your parent didn't do the right work with you, the right reaction in your own tantrums, in your own childhood, so you don't know how to do the right thing by yourself when you are adult. You need to find this out. There is no one is going to help you. You can go to psychologues or to any whatever other resources, helping resources you can find out there. But the work comes from you, comes from yourself. And the moment when you are going to become the correct person, the balanced person of yourself, I think you are going to be reacting correctly with the child in the tantrum moments. And also maybe you wonder, do I need to say no 10 times, 15 times, 1 time or so? I think it depends. Just try to feel it by yourself. Try to feel it, and especially you should be relaxed at that moment. You should not engage in emotion at that moment. If you feel you are engaging in emotions at that moment, yeah, I think you need to work with yourself a little bit, not at that moment, at some other moment, but try to find out what's going on and try to not to have those emotions. I'm not saying, because as a parent, you may know there are moments in childhood with kids that you just have enough, you just say, no, this is too much for me. Yes, those are some moments, but I'm only describing the moments, what to do in a tantrum moment, and just be aware of that moment. Maybe try to look to be aware of the environment at that moment. So if you feel there is a situation when you become stressed for some reason, maybe you want to go at the park, I don't know, somewhere in the shopping mall with your kid to do some activity, and you feel stressed and the child starts throwing a tantrum, try to not go into that situation. So you don't put stress on yourself, right? So you can act correctly at the moment of the tantrum to say those no. Also, the child may grab things and throw things. I think you can go close to him or her at that moment and just maybe take those things away from him. I say him, could be her. Take those things and just maybe use your hands, not pushing, obviously not hitting. Just use your hands and say no, no, no. If he wants to maybe start running across the street just to, to do a wrong thing, just try to be in front of him and just say no, no, no. And hopefully he's going to give up after a few minutes, perhaps a few moments, I don't know how much, is going to just, okay. And that moment when he gives up on that wrong will of his or her, that's the moment when he climbs another step in a good way. That's the moment when he evolves, if you want, gets to a next level of development, personal development. Obviously, when you get into this tantrum situation, it's because it's oftentimes an interdiction. Try to think with your head. Sometimes you will just say no for something, and some other times you are going to permit. Maybe your kid wants always chocolate in a grocery. So just think for yourself. He's going to ask me 10 times. I will give him chocolate 1, 2, or 3 times. I'm going to give it today. For the next 3 days, I'm going to say no, because you don't want to give him chocolate every day for some reason. I don't know. That's up to you. Just mix some yeses with some nos. Try to be consistent. Try to be logical. Try to go by your instinct, basically, because your instinct is good. Try to trust your instinct and be smart, actually, use your brain. But just sometimes you need to say yes, and sometimes you need to say no. It's not going to be a no just for the sake of the no. It's just a no because that's how you want things to go that moment. So don't always say no's, because if you are thinking, oh, I'm going to make a lieutenant of my kids to go in the army or so, that's wrong. So just go with your instinct, parental instinct, the things that you approve or disapprove, and say no when it's the right moment, and do this no attitude with your kids. I hope it helps you with this. I think it's a good idea. I'm not saying it's going to work every time also, and don't be perfect, but maybe it's going to help you with your kid and with these tantrum moments. And again, I think a tantrum moment, it's a good moment for your child. It's a moment when he will give up his wrong will or over will, not complete will. And he's not going to give up completely his will. He's not becoming a puppet, but sometimes he gives up his will and he grows from there. And I think he's going to grow a good person. Also, never, I call this physical contact, even just a tap or something like this. Don't. Anything but that easy, calm, composed, balanced. No, everything else, every other negative attitude of yours is a weakness. And that's exactly what he should not see at that moment. He should not see a weakness in yourself. He should see an adult that is an adult. Thanks for watching.